Good evening, Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the Tarbis for the last time in 2020. As some of you have seen the past couple of broadcasts, now I go to work tomorrow night, so this will probably be the final after hours of 2020, and it can't come soon enough. I am going to try to get something out that'll be released either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day automatically. I don't know if I'll get it done before I go to work tomorrow. So I'm wrapping up a little early here so I can work on that. And it's just sort of a closeout for the year. And before I get started on the usual show, you guys have voiced your opinions. And by a ratio of roughly 5 to 1, most folks preferred that I keep the original intro and outro, maybe a few modifications and pictures, but the music and everything. And the more I looked at it, I kind of realized I really think I like that one best too. So we'll be keeping the music and maybe at some point coming up with, I might just keep doing it the way I've been doing it. Who knows? What the heck? It works. Folks like it. I might use that other music for something else, but it was just an experiment. And so enough of that. The Oscar Deuce we've been talking about past couple of days, the Cessna Skymaster. I got an email from someone who, or actually it was a comment, but from someone who worked with him, and he was telling me that they did have a military model that was a straight commercial model. They used their PSYOPs, psychological warfare or psychological operations, and it had the spinners on it and didn't have hard points. It was for carrying loudspeakers and dropping leaflets. So I went and rounded up some pictures, and not that I doubted him, I just, okay, I hadn't noticed that before. And sure enough, the O2 Bravo, the Oscar Deuce Bravo, has spinners on it, at least on the front. I also found out that the Navy and the Army inherited a few of them. They didn't fly combat with the Army and the Navy. They were used for like range control and test work and things like that. But it's kind of cool just to see, if you wanted to model a Skymaster, an O2 in a really unusual paint scheme, there's a couple of Army paint schemes, that Navy paint scheme that would be pretty interesting. And there was a company out making decals for the Navy one, and I think the Army one, because I think these images I got came from some decal. I don't know. They were just pictures I downloaded off the internet. I saw a picture of an O2 dropping leaflets, and I was like, are those things getting shredded by the rear propeller on their way out of the airplane? The loudspeakers, now in this picture, the loudspeakers are on what looks like a Cessna 185 and I believe a Helio Courier. I couldn't find a picture of the loudspeakers on the Skymaster. But, even though I've flown the plane and we worked with the military, that I expanded my knowledge base. I learned new stuff because you guys are always, it's kind of a crowdsourcing thing. You guys all have your own unique set of experiences. You all know plenty of stuff I don't know, and hopefully I'm able to contribute a few things that are new to you. And when we chat and comment and do these videos and stuff, which I do usually off the top of my head, if it's not one of the history videos, I'm pretty much just what I can remember, which is often incorrect. And then when you guys say, oh no, this is right or this is wrong, and wow, hey, look, I'm a lot more knowledgeable than I was a year ago because of you guys sending me all of the information from your experiences in life. I've learned a ton about slot cars and racing. And speaking of cars, I did what I call an interim completion of the Peggy today. Essentially, I got it done, but I don't have the permanent diorama base for both of the airplanes, so I've got it here temporarily on this one. So the plane is essentially done. I did go ahead and cut up the cowling and put some battle damage on it, and well, you know what? I like it. And in the end, that's what matters. I'm happy with it. And I think it's going to make a nice companion piece for the other one. I had no idea where I'm going to put them. And that's what modeling is all about. And also, Paul B, on another modeling subject, Paul B sent me some pictures of I talked about the little 190 scales I showed this morning, the little wagons, and he actually had done them and sent these pictures of a couple that he did. And I was like, oh, it's cool. So now I know what they look like. Oh, by the way, I think everyone's going to get a giggle out of this. Even though that piece of music that I used, which a couple of you identified, and I forget the name of it offhand. Anyway, it was a karaoke piece. So normally karaoke doesn't have any copyrights or people do covers of music, they normally don't tag for copyright if you're not using the actual, official copy. But this one, then I got an email from YouTube, and it says that there's nothing you have to do. This isn't a strike, but there are copyright claims from these 4 countries, and so they can't be shown there. So if I had to use the music, my videos would have been blocked in Cuba, North Korea, Iran, and Syria. Guys, I don't know if I can go on if the North Koreans can't enjoy my content. I mean, what's the point? Does anyone build models in North Korea? Well, does anyone build models in Cuba or Iran or Syria? I never stopped to think about what countries do people not... I mean, any country... Is model building worldwide, or are there places where you can't or you're not allowed to? Or, gosh, I don't even know. There's a thought for you. It kind of dovetails with a thought I had earlier today, which was kind of going to be my closing thought for 2020. As I sit here with the Peggy finished and the Polara, the Ram Charger 64 Dodge 330 SS Polara, on the I don't know if they actually call it a Polara. It's on a Polara, body, but anyway, sitting here with the Dan Gurney figure from Immense Miniatures from Mark Tyler, and I like to kind of when I build a car or truck. Now, since Mark sent me those 4 figures, I want to put one with each of the comparably scaled cars. By the way, this car has not including the chrome. It has 9 sprues, so not including the body. So it's actually a more intense kit than I thought, which would be great because that means that when I get that Hemi built to pose outside, it should look really nice, nicely detailed. But anyway, getting back to what I was thinking about was, I realized one of the reasons that model building has gone through so many, is popular in so many different places. And that is, unlike a lot of hobbies, you can build models anywhere. As long as you've got postal service and you can order something, even going back to the 60s and 70s, the early mail order companies. Everybody builds models because models were, at least in the Western world and huge parts of the East, models were everywhere. Did that video on building models in the old Soviet Union and everything, was, even though they didn't have a lot of choice, it was still very popular. East Germany, it was popular. I mean, it's kind of a universal thing. And, if you're into surfing, you got to live near a beach. If you're into skiing, well, you either need snow or water. If you're into flying, you've got to be near an airport in a country that allows civilian aviation, which a lot don't. In other words, some places you can't go hunting or fishing. I mean, there's all kinds of restrictions on just about every kind of hobby you can think of, but model building is something that sort of transcends all that. And I guess that's one reason it got popular and stayed popular. It latches on to a certain creative drive that I think we all have at some level, and pretty much you can do it anywhere. And that's kind of the thing, I guess, that kind of bonds us all together, is we all share that drive to create things. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, one look at the shelf up here, and I think I've got just about everything covered. Science fiction, science fact, aircraft, armor, vehicles, kaiju, and Gundam, and just pretty much, sailing ships, military vessels, and your imagination is pretty much the limit. And heck, some people, they can't find it, they'll just scratch build it. God bless them. So I just thought that would make an interesting thing sort of in the year on. I hope I can get that video out for you. If not, I'll get it out after the new year. But this is pretty much it. There is one little quasi announcement, which you probably already noticed by the fact that I'm putting out a little bit less content now. Is now that I'm going back to work regularly, I won't be able to put I actually had some direct questions about this, by the way. I will continue this channel. I will not be putting stuff out every day because I'm not going to be able to. And and it'll probably be not that often that I'm putting out twice a day. As long as you guys are still interested in continuing the live streams, I'll keep doing those Saturdays. And the reason I picked Saturday was I figured that's the best time for everybody. Most folks are off on Saturday. But I can always shift the time on that, but there's simply no way to accommodate everybody, because we're not only does everybody have their days off, we're all in different time zones. That's why I picked 3 o'clock East Coast time on Saturday, because I figured that's when the most people were home, free, and might be in the mood to chat. So that's that. Well, anyway, this dumpster fire of a year is almost over. Here's hoping that 2021 is a better year. I'm starting off with a new project, kicking it off with the car and the figure. And I guess that's all I got for tonight. Well, I guess that's a wrap for 2020. I will see you guys in 2021. I want to wish everyone, obviously, a wonderful year. I want to thank you guys for everything. The encouragement, the positive feedback, the suggestions, certainly for all the models and magazines and calendars and decals and photo etch and figurines and all the other stuff that you've sent. I am still just flabbergasted by all that. And I will keep making the series, and on top of that, like the rest of us, I will keep on modeling.